I'm Joanne from New Zealand, and today I'm going to show you how I make the star topper for my Christmas tree. It only requires 2 pieces, so here are the pattern pieces. You've got the star topper and you've got the half circle or semicircle that you use to make the base for the star to attach to. And you're also going to need, apart from your pattern and your felt, you're going to need some fusible woven interfacing. That's what I like to use. I've got a nice firm one. So what you do first is to trace those pattern pieces onto freezer paper, and next you need to iron that freezer paper pieces onto your felt, iron them on, and just use a cool iron for that, otherwise you'll end up melting your felt, and cut them out. When you've done that, you'll come up with your star like this. And what I did is I got a piece of woven interfacing, and I put the star on the woven interfacing and traced around it. Hence you can see I've got all the pencil on the outside of that. Then I cut that out just slightly smaller. As you can see, it's just slightly smaller all the way around, and then I ironed that on, and that makes it quite a bit firmer. So once you've got that ready, you then need to get the semicircle and iron that onto the felt. What you're going to do is, I've actually made mine up already, but that's what it looks like, and here's the inside sewn. So what you do when you've got that, pretend this is felt, fold it in half along there and just stitch. I started at this end. The reason I started at the fold is so that the loose ends are all cut up the top here and hidden. So I stitched down and I actually went back again so that all the threads were up the top here. I didn't want any loose threads hanging down from the bottom because that would look rather untidy. And I've just realised I haven't trimmed that. So get your wee scissors and trim that on an angle. That will stop that from showing, which is good. And then turn it inside out, so you've got the seam on the inside, and that's done. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to put the stitch seam at the side. I don't want it at the front and I don't want it at the back. When you put it at the front or the back, it actually becomes central to the star, and I don't like that. I'm actually going to put it at the side. Well, I'm going to cut this out slightly smaller, iron it onto the felt, and then I will put this one over it, and I'll stitch all the way around except for at the bottom. I'm only going to stitch to just around the corner of each point of the star. You'll see why when I put this on, because this is going to be attached just to the top there, so you want to be able to have a gap here so you can slide your star on top of that supporting cone like that. Now if you've used this hard felt like I've used, it's not conducive to hand stitching very well, but if you've used wool or some other sort of natural fibre, your hand stitching, when you hand stitch the star on, will work so much easier. But we'll see when we get to that stage. First thing I'm going to do now is cut this out smaller, iron it onto my backing felt, ironed on the fusible interfacing onto the backing felt. Now I've already decided which way up I want my star, and I've put 2 little pencil marks down there. So I'm just going to get a clip. I'm just going to put that there to remind me that that's the bottom of my star. And then I'm going to position this over there. I'm going to need a few more of these. Now, you're probably wondering why I've made this smaller than the outside, and why I just didn't iron a whole piece on the backing felt. Reason being that when you put these together and you've stitched around them and cut them out, I actually don't want to see that white fusible interfacing between the seams. I know it doesn't matter. I'd prefer just to only see yellow everywhere. Just position that beautifully. Once you've got it positioned, then what you need to do is using a slightly longer than normal stitch, so usually it's 2.5. I use a 3 to stitch all these decorations. I'm going to stitch where you see those 2 little pencil marks. I'm going to stitch starting there, I'm going to go all the way around and come back to the other side. Let's just go in there, and I think that's actually going to make a really nice topper. Now at this point, if you've got used felt that you can hand stitch, I would actually hand stitch on this side and the other, but because this felt is not hand stitchable, I've tried it, it's just too firm, I'm going to machine stitch mine. Here's the star all finished. You can see it's attached on that side and through there. I've got my seam at the side and it looks good no matter whether you look at it from here or there, and that is going to sit on top of the Christmas tree beautifully, and it's you can feel it's nice and sturdy. So that's the last decoration for my Christmas tree at this stage, and I'll put that in the pattern and have fun making yours.